Hey everybody, I'm Tony Fleming from Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Thanks for joining me on today's Maserati video. Many of you know that I love these cars. We've had so many come through here. Some great stories of people who have taken them places and just enjoyed them so much. I drive one almost all the time as my daily driver as well, because they're just bang for the buck. They're a great car. They're great styling. They have great tech inside. And they just offer you so many things as a used car versus, say, like a new car. So for instance, like I say that, you know, maybe my math is not so good, but just hear me out for a second, that these cars are 50% styling, 50% power and sound, and maybe 50% leather, luxury, tech inside. I think that adds up to 100 if I'm not mistaken. That's why I don't do math. Anyway, you get my point. My point is this thing excels at many different levels. This model in particular is a very different model than other Ghiblis. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about what you're getting and what you're not getting compared to maybe some lesser ones. All right, so in this model here, we're talking about some upgrades that they don't talk about. For instance, these are 21-inch wheels. You can get 21-inch wheels on a car, but the reason why this has 21-inch model is because it's a Grand Sport. The Grand Sport is the most high-performance version you can get. These are 6-piston Brembo calipers in there. They are enormous. If you look at them in the pictures, you'll see they are ginormous. That's another technical term, all right? This also has that blackout package, which makes it look so good, because all the time people say, "Oh, that's a great looking car." I'm like, thanks so much. I love it too. But we don't know why it's a great looking car. So for instance, here, we're talking about the blacked out grille. This has a carbon, factory carbon, not the faux carbon, factory carbon front spoiler there. Mirror caps here, trim there, rear lift spoiler, carbon all around. It's just beautiful car. Some cars are just much nicer than others. This one had a significantly higher MSRP than other Ghiblis that we've had in the past. I think what we should do now is maybe get under the hood so you can see some of the action going on there. But before we do that, I want to talk about the paint, because this is Maserati Italian paint, right? What does that mean? Tony, is it Italian paint? Italian guy painted it? I think so, because they're built in Italy, and most of the people that work there are Italian. However, we want to make sure that it's beautiful. And under these lights and the ribs in the ceiling and this fine print, I want you to see how shiny and clear everything is in here. Come on up and check that out. Nice. Just beautiful how you can see everything in there. The reason it's shiny in here is because it's shiny out there. All right, so what do we have under here? We have an engine that makes an incredible sound. But how do you get incredible sound out of a car? By just an exhaust? No, not enough. You have to have the right firing order. You have to have compression. You have to have a 3-liter twin turbo 6 that makes 424 horsepower. They sell an upgrade kits that are out there that put them at 500 horsepower. Can you imagine how you're doing? Anyway, as sassy as that sounds, this is beautifully done. You might even want to go to a car show. There are not a lot of Grand Sports out there because they're so expensive compared to a standard like SQ4, right? Here, is something that I'm looking for when I'm buying these cars for you, and that is this. Has it been in an accident? We don't sell any Carfax blemished vehicles here, and so the original stickers are still in place, decals and things like that that you can't buy anymore. What does that mean? Well, if this car was in an accident, they wouldn't care to find the decals to put back on. They would just replace the parts in there, but the decals would be gone. That way you would know that something's been replaced. All of that stuff is still in place. Hood stays up by itself. It doesn't need a prop rod. And again, it's just a beautiful mug here, especially with the blacked out grille, that great Maserati Trident. All of the styling is wrapped up. All right, so part of the styling back here is great styling, and it is Italian, but I like to point out some stuff that people say all the time, that's a great looking car, but we want to say why. These blacked out big pipes in here, quad tips that are there, this carbon spoiler that we talked about earlier, the styling of LED all around here. I might suggest you think about this. They sell a package here that we can change these emblems to black emblems, which would match all of the blackout treatment on the car too. Just that final little touch that matches the grille and things like that. That would be a great touch. And then lastly, most importantly, is this car functional? And the truth of the matter is that it is. It comes with a Maserati mat. It comes with this nice net here that goes across all that. All right. And then underneath here is your spare tire and all the good stuff, all the what we call accoutrements. All right, everything's still in its place. The tire's there. It's never been used. The spare tire's never been used. And I just love the fact that when you get a car like this, you can get basically a new car for like half price. How nice is that? All right, walking up to your car every day should make you smile, right? You walk up to it, shouldn't just be transportation. That's not what we have here. We don't have just transportation. You should walk up and go, wow, that is a great looking car. And you go get in this car and it takes you to another place as well, because you're not going to spend a lot of time outside the car, but it's important to walk up and go, wow, it's nice looking, but wait till we get inside, it's even nicer. All right, so come on in here and let's talk about what do I get in a Maserati other than any other car. What you do get is this. You get to say Maserati first off, but it comes with something. Why is Maserati such a great name? When you tell somebody, oh, I bought a Maserati, it's not like saying, and it's not a bad thing that I bought an F-150, because that's a great truck. However, a Maserati has a different ring and feel to it for a lot of different reasons. For instance, when you buy a car like this, you get a full leather interior. What does that mean, Tone? Full leather. It means there's like leather stuff inside? Yeah. The dash is covered in leather. The console is covered in leather. The door panels are covered in leather, right? Full leather all around. Alcantara on the ceiling here, right? The infotainment system is upgraded in these units, in these later models as well. So it's much nicer. It's very modern today. 190 mile an hour speedometer, and I'm sorry, I just had to look again. 8,000 RPM tach. This is a serious machine. It's why it has 6 piston calipers. These have been known to make between 424 and 450 horsepower, stock from the factory. And easily with a chip upgrade can go to 500. I'm not suggesting you do that, but I've heard on the street it can be done. All right. Anyway, some nice stuff too. Heated and cooled seats, remote start, like all of these great things that make for a luxury car. Harman and Kardon audio. I'm glazing over a lot of what you get in a car like this because you can certainly read about it, but I just like you to know what you're getting is so nice. And then this right here is the key, the paddles. This is an engaging car. You put it in sport mode, flip the handle over to manual, and now you have a manual sports car that has these lightning fast shifts that blips the throttle when you go to downshift, and it sounds like no other sports sedan that's out there. All right, so we close up this video. We talked about a lot of stuff today, but I want to talk a little bit about maintenance before we get started. I want you to know that Maserati doesn't make like its own air conditioning or its own power window motor, because people say, wow, aren't Maseratis expensive to maintain? And the answer is no. The truth of the matter is it can get a regular oil filter from Advanced Auto. The air conditioning compressor is the same one that they sell in many other cars like Hondas, Toyotas, all kinds of things. They're made by a vendor. The brakes are Brembos. You know where you can get those parts, right? So they're not just Maserati parts. And you don't have to go to the dealer to get that done. We service these. Everybody services these cars because they're just a car. They're not so exotic that nobody else has a computer that can get in here. Everybody now has access to that and helps you navigate those things. The big service is at 100,000 miles. This has 27,000 miles on it. It'll be a long time before you get to that. So it's just a car to enjoy and maintain and own. So great color combination with the red interior and the carbon fiber package and the 21-inch wheels and the Brembo brakes and all of that good stuff. It's a lot of great stuff. Check out the ad. Listen to the drive of this car. It is spectacular. You're going to love it. We got to figure a way to get it in your garage. Anyway, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about this Maserati Ghibli Grand Sport, right? It's a very special model. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up down there below. That gets our message out. I really appreciate when you do that. Share with your friends. They might like to see some of what we have too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have new stuff coming out all the time. And I'll see you on the test drive. Why do you buy a Maserati? Well, you buy it for a couple of things. One, the styling. One's the great tech inside. And most importantly, the sound. Check this out. All right, so what do you think when you say Maserati? Like, what comes to your mind first? And I think first comes to mind is that. Whole lot of power. Wow. We got it in sport mode right now, and we're using the Grand Sport paddles, right? And all that juice under the hood. The suspension stiffened up. How cool is that you can take a car that you can take your family to wherever they need to go, soccer practice, whatever, and then listen to that. Downshifts itself, flips the throttle. Look how fast that shift is. Bah, bah, bah. This is awesome. Let me tell you what, man. You buy a Maserati for the sound first and for all the stuff it does second. And then if you just want to click on and just go for a drive, you can do that too. But a nice windy road is a really nice treat, as we're enjoying right now. Having said that, 5 people in luxury. What's not to like? Leather everywhere, all the latest tech. The nav is really nice. Just really good, really good. I'm going to turn off the sport mode, which makes it quiet. That takes the exhaust note and closes the mufflers. There's bypass valves in them, and now listen how quiet it is. Just like a regular car, you can jump on the phone. Hey boss, yeah, I'll be there in a few minutes, swear to God. Swear to God, if you don't believe me, ask me. Right? Not really, because you're looking for back roads to ring out your Maserati in. I drive these cars all the time, and they are fabulous and a wonderful experience. That's why so many people have moved on from Mercedes and BMW and what have you, and decided to get something that looks like this, because no other car does look like this, and no other car sounds like a Maserati. Anyway, thanks so much for driving with me today. I got to play some hooky from work, do some curves, windy roads, which is always a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.